volatility and FOMO is back in the marketplace, and I seen last week as a big win for AMC, not because we went down or we went up. I don't care what happens with the day-to-day price action of AMC. The FOMO buyers, the day traders, that is really the X factor of what we need for the MOAS, and the fact that it did show its hand last week with all of these Trump SPAC related stocks, and likely to happen this week as well. AMC could go down. That's not the point. We know the FOMO buyers are going to FOMO buy into AMC or any other stock there is good reason to buy. As we do know, earnings is not tomorrow on Monday, it is next week. So I want to go over how some people are going to start positioning to trade AMC for earnings, and we could get an earnings run up starting this week, leading into obviously earnings on November 1st. As well as that, I do just want to go over everything else you guys need to know so everybody is on the same page. We're going to take a look at the Ortex data, the stock go tracker data, take a deeper look into the option chain, because this next upcoming week, starting obviously tomorrow, we only go up to the $80 strike. So the option chain is even more compressed this week, leading to a little bit of a gamma squeeze potential, especially if we do see that earnings run up. And finally, we're going to take a look at the 13F filings that are coming out from the hedge funds and institutions. So hopefully you guys get a lot of value out of this video. I'm sure you will. And if you do, hit that like button for me. Consider subscribing to the channel. Let me know, what is your price prediction for next week? What do you think is going to happen? Earnings run up, no earnings run up? Do you think FOMO buyers are going to buy into AMC? Let me know that information. So let's not waste any more of your time. I kind of ramble on. Let's get into this video. So AMC did close out Friday at $36.90 per share. We were down 6.73% for regular trading, up almost 1% in after hours trading. So this was a solid bounce that we did see, but we are still just range bound. Ever since September 20th, we've been in between $35 and $40. So we've had a really tight range, and obviously, as we do know, some apes, they sold out of AMC last week momentarily to go buy these other stocks and then take that money back into AMC, just like I did. I didn't sell out of AMC. You know, to be honest with you guys, I had funds to play these other stocks, so I didn't sell out of AMC, but I still traded these stocks, brought that profit back to AMC. So ultimately, I think you're going to see more inflows now to AMC as people do start to bring that money back, and I think we're starting to see that in after hours on Friday. But regardless of that, let's touch on the whole FOMO situation, because if you look at this very micro and you're just looking at AMC, you probably think last week was, you know, a bearish week, which technically speaking, we went down quite a bit. It was pretty bearish. If you look at this at the macro sense of the trade that we do have going on, and by macro, I mean, look at, you know, all these meme stocks, all these rally stocks, look at what is going on in the overall market. You could see that people are piling into individual stocks. I played 3 different stocks. There was 4 stocks that went up about 100% at the peak on Friday alone. So you're seeing people just trading different stocks back and forth because there is a reason to. All of these stocks are linked to the Trump SPAC, or just the Trump SPAC in general, DWAC. Now, once we get a reason to buy AMC, once we get one of these catalysts coming out on earnings November 1st, that's going to be a reason for FOMO buyers to buy into the stock. And at this point, even if you're not in ape, you see what is happening with these other stocks running up 100%. Now, AMC is more, you know, has more publicity than these other stocks, arguably a way better moving candidate, right? There's a short interest, there's all this manipulation, there's a core group of investors that hold a majority of the free flow. So a lot of people that aren't even invested in AMC or never were will likely trade the stock just because we're getting back to that environment where stocks just start to rally and go crazy. Hopefully that makes sense for you guys. I've been investing for a long time, so if this does not make sense for you guys, I will definitely break it down further in depth in another video. I don't want to get too repetitive with it, but I just feel like not enough people understand what is being said, and this is really something to be bullish about. Forget the price action, what happens on the day-to-day. Wait for the FOMO buyers to buy into the stock. And if this next earnings call is anything like the last three we have seen in 2020, in March going up 60%, right here in May going up 1,000%, and back here going up about 100%, we're going to see a rally, especially because we do know there is a major announcement. AMC is going to be starting a totally different business line. We can all speculate what that is, but until likely earnings, we won't know. Probably, like I said, see traders start to trade the stock. So all in all, hopefully that's not too repetitive for you guys, especially you guys that are subscribed to the channel. All we're trying to do is get everybody on the same page. So I do greatly appreciate and love every single one of you guys. Let's get into the data that you need to know, more micro, right? We're not looking at the general market. Let's look at AMC, the data, and let's just talk about the Ortex data. And we're looking at 16.39% short interest, down 1.74% short interest change on Friday. Nothing to be concerned about. And right here, when you see this return shares and borrowed shares, I want you guys to know, if you see anybody saying that these are covered shares in any other videos, that's not necessarily the case. It could be, but what I'm really seeing, because there is such a big difference between the short interest of free flow at 16.39% and the free flow on loan that is at 21%, it's likely shorts that took out these shares on loan, so that's on the free float on loan, with before shorting them into the open market, that just want to give these shares back because they don't want to be liable. They don't want to short AMC right now for whatever reason. And the fact that we are seeing these return shares at about 3 million, and we did sell off pretty much all of last week, just leads me to believe a lot of these shares are being returned without actually obviously being covered, because that did not happen last week. But we're seeing the share utilization at 87.36%, so that is high right there. Not crazy for 4 share recalls, but still a comfortable level overall. Like I said, free flow on loan 21%, so we do have room for the short interest to go up, but especially after earnings, you know, I've been in the markets 4 years now. A lot of these big guys that are shorting AMC are not going to want to around earnings, because they see exactly what I see. They know AMC performs very well after earnings. Why would you want to screw yourself like that? So I don't expect the short interest to go up too much. Now let's take a look at the Stonko tracker data, because we are seeing 94,163 calls that are out of the money for next week, 1,722 calls that are in the money starting for next week. And really, you know, these numbers aren't too impressive whatsoever, but when you actually look at the option chain, you do see a lot of this open interest that is concentrated right at the $37 strike, 3,000, 2,400 at the 38, and then 1,800, 4,000, 2,800, 4,300, 2,700, 4,000, 6,000. So very concentrated. And then that $50 strike, you're looking at almost 9,000 for open interest, and then it kind of drops off a little bit, quite substantially if you average this out. But the option chain only goes to the $80 expiration, or the $80 strike, and you're looking at 12,000 right there. But a majority of this open interest is really held in between the $37 and the $50 strike, just to even it out, say the $55 strike. A majority of this is very close to the money, so you could see a bit of a gamma squeeze, or I like to say a gamma push of just options being hedged for, not necessarily a squeeze, if we do start to cross these major levels, $40 being one of them, and then obviously, you know, 42, all these, you know, higher open interest strikes, 45, you could see a big push after you do pass those dollar prices. So that's what you guys need to know. Very interesting. I wouldn't, you know, make any bets based off of that. It's not a super high number. It's not like 50,000 for open interest at a certain strike, but still keep it on your radar. If we see the FOMO come in, anything is on the table at that point. People will FOMO into the option, so take this with a grain of salt. It could change coming Monday if we have good news. If we do see those FOMO buyers, the option chain could explode. And finally, let's go over the 13F filings from the investors that are invested in AMC. Who has been selling out? Who has been buying? Now, there's been quite a bit of sellers, quite a bit of buyers as well, and unfortunately we don't get the exact amount of what was actually sold. So we don't know how much this is unless you individually want to go through all the filings, and it's really not that significant to, you know, it's not going to help the cause here to know who is selling how much. The big firms we will take a look at, obviously Citadel, BlackRock, Renaissance, all these other firms that are, you know, bigger, more public trading firms, we will take a deeper look at that. But anyways, you're seeing quite a bit of firms selling out, buying some, but the average firm is holding on to their positions at about $47 for their average price on the shares of their position. So definitely bullish right there. They're substantially down on their positions, but they are holding on to them. And like I said, no firm would do that if they didn't think it was going to go up in value at least some point into the future. So overall, definitely still very, very bullish. Once you see these firms, once you see a lot of red on this page, that's really where you got to take a step back and say what is going on. Now, as far as that, let's just take a look at the technical analysis. We're on the daily candlestick chart. We're not going to get too deep into this, but obviously the $35 level is our lower end range, so watch for that. Our real median, right, it's about $37, and that's pretty much where we're at right now, $36.90 per share. So as far as if we're going to see a move to the upside or the downside, I do think a move to the upside, since AMC did sell off so much. You're going to see people setting up for earnings. That's the smart thing to be doing. I've been buying AMC. You couldn't tell me otherwise that we're not going to see a rally in the next 30 to 60 days. Typically, about 2 to 4 weeks after earnings is where we do top out at. So you couldn't convince me otherwise. A rally is not coming, but either way, we could bounce back up to 40, or even $44 was our higher end, or we could go back down to 35. I don't expect to really break out to the downside under this level, but definitely we could break out to the upside over this level. And really the major resistance level after 40 is going to be this 50-day moving average, which was $40.73. If we get above that, a great sign to continue this rally. As you see last time, especially on what was this, Thursday, when we did break under this 50-day moving average, this was a major support level when we did cross above this October 14th, stayed above this, and then once you did see all that selling power, broke under the 50-day, we gapped down all the way to about $36 per share. So that is what you guys need to know. If you guys got any value out of this video, hit that like button for me, consider subscribing to the channel. Let me know in the comments section, baby, what is your prediction for AMC? Are you buying more? Are you trading these other stocks? Trust me, I don't care what you guys do, but I would rather be in AMC. Feel free to trade these other stocks. I personally would not sell AMC to get into these other stocks and ride the wave. Be careful. Whatever you guys are doing, that is all that I am going to say about that. So that's all for this video. If you guys do want to support the channel, link for public, link for Webull to do so down below in the description of this video, as well as if you guys want access to all of our trades in the private trading community, check that out. We only used about $400 to trade all of these other stocks. We made about $1,600 in pure profit. One of the better trades was obviously Intel, and that was $18, $51 puts expiring, what was that, October 29th, $18. We cashed out per contract at $155, as high as $180 intraday at one point. They might have closed up higher. Still, that's about an 800-900% profit on that trade alone. So if you guys want to be a part of it, check it out. That's all for this video. You guys enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will see you in the next one.